We are the #1 business show on the planet with over 1 million downloads a month. Taking the BS out of business for over 6 years and over 400 episodes. You ready to start snapping necks and cashing checks? Well, it starts right about now.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Right About Now. I'm Ryan Alford, your host. We're always talking about, hey, we always right. You know that. But we're always talking about what's now, not about the future, not about the past, but about today. This is about getting you ahead in business and in life and ultimately making it all happen. And hey, I got the king of making it happen. I got two of the kings. Chris, what's happening, brother, down in Miami?
What's good, bro? How are you today?
I'm good, man. Hey, I'm pumped. Got my brother from another. He is David Caldwellv. What's up, David?
Man, life is good, bro. Appreciate y'all having me on.
Yeah, man. Ex-NFL, business mentor, consultant, professional badass, and just all-around good guy.
I appreciate that.
He'll run you over and then pick you up and tell you something good.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, man. Y'all both in the Miami. It's like the land of opportunity, right?
It really is, bro. Like everything when you're down here, I don't know about you, Chris, but when I'm down here, everything is just a different form of inspiration. You know what I mean? Yeah. You got to make sure you're not getting caught up in, comparing yourself too much, but it is good in some ways, give you that added inspiration.
Yeah. Well, I'm inspired just the fact that you're here. I don't know if it's that or if it's just Exponent. You got to get you some of this, man.
Maybe both.
Exponent, plant powered. Hey, powers the podcast. The spot. Hey, it's what makes this work, people. You get the content. We give you the sponsors. And look, I don't work with anybody I don't like. That's why I drink Fusion Energy. Exponent. X marks the spot. Drink Exponent. DrinkExponent.com and Drink Exponent on Instagram. Official energy drink of the show. So, guys, talking a little news today. We talked pre-episode. And Chris and I have been, talking like last year. We'd have these news episodes that even just once a week we'd go, interest rates. What are we talking about? Biden's naps. What are we talking about? Now it's like, damn, it's been and we got to do it. That's why we're doing it 2 this week. Chris and I are doing another show. Like we got to do 2 in 1. There's so much news happening. Trump's making moves. Like him, love him, or hate him. It's not about politics, but it is impacting news. And I like what I see overall. David, I don't know your perspective, but, a lot of the things that are happening, they're getting attention, but we don't know the impact yet, right? So I get excited that it feels like there's progress, but we don't have necessarily results, but we'll see. What do you make of the kind of the business climate overall with everything that's going down?
Well, I had Tesla before, I guess Trump won. And I remember the day of the election, it was probably around like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock when it was looking like Trump was going to win. And I just happened to get an alert from Robinhood. And I just saw my Tesla, jumping. Now it's eased up a little bit, but that to me shows a lot more about how we're not truly appreciating what Elon Musk is bringing to the table. And there's a lot of people just hating on it for the wrong reasons, what I like to call just hustling backwards. But overall, since Trump's, won, I did a list. Like I had to write down a list because I was so confused. I'm like, why do people hate him so much? I understand the emotional aspect, especially with everything being so divisive and, the other side or all different sides trying to make race such a big issue or LGBTQ, all the woke ideology. But when you actually put pen to paper and write down the stuff that he's been able to put in play, we'll see what the results are as we move forward. But just the stuff that he's been able to put in play, compare that list to 4 years of Biden and Harris. And I mean, it's hard to dispute the fact that he's making some real difference in a positive way from my standpoint.
Yeah. And I mean, that's interesting that from your perspective and knowing, that feels a little bit of the universal sentiment, I think, with people that, like you said, are hustling forward,
Right.
But we'll see. I just think government has been so stuck in its ways. It's like it's been accepted. We've accepted how slow they've enacted things. Well, we'll get to that tomorrow. We might have a shutdown in 3 weeks. Well, you got fucking 3 weeks to figure that shit out. Like, what are we doing? Like, none of this stuff happens in real life and real business. You know, my mortgage don't wait 3 weeks. You know, like, I got to make money today. I got to get stuff done today. And the government, with all this inefficiency, is allowed to operate at these levels because we tolerate it. And that's not even talking about necessarily whether I agree with every policy or not. It's more with which the speed with the action taking place, because if there's no action, it's just a lot of hot air. And that's what I think is refreshing, if nothing else, is we seem to be bringing people to the table around the whole block here. It doesn't seem as politicized as it was kind of heated coming through. I think a lot of that is, it feels like it's dissipating a little bit. Now, I know the other side's complaining about shit, but like I don't know. Chris, what do you think?
I agree. I mean, I think there's a lot being done. I think we've yet to see the ripples from what's being done. You know, I think you can't turn around a ship on a dime, right? So I'm extremely happy with the speed of how things are going. And I'm just happy that people are working, because it felt like for 4 years there was just kind of not much going on. And if there was anything, it was extremely negative, right?
Yeah.
Like our withdrawal from Afghanistan, for example, like that was the beginning of that presidency from what I remember, or early into it. But I mean, I'm stoked, man. Like I can tell the sentiment amongst business owners is better. And as a business owner, I just feel like I'm seeing someone who knows how to run a business doing their job, right? Like I'm like, oh, this looks like what people should be doing.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You know, more will be revealed, and there's a lot of upset people, but I think we've got a lot of talented people from a lot of different aspects and areas all coming together, trying to help the country out of genuine love for the country.
Yeah. And I'm okay if there's even a little bit of selfishness in it, if it's moving things forward, you know,
Sure.
like, and I think you got a little bit of that going on. I'm not stupid. You get all these business guys, they know pandering to the president isn't a bad idea, but it does seem to be, I don't know, like we're rowing, at least for the people that matters, in the right direction or the same direction with some of the business units. Because if everybody's fighting, you don't get anywhere. I'm talking about like the business people, not necessarily, the left's going to do what they're going to do. But I think it's really fascinating to see how people are defending. I'm going to go down like the Doge route, the Department of Government Efficiency. Go figure. Did we ever think we'd see the day that would even try to exist? Government and efficiency in the same word. The worst run business on the planet is the post office, and that's run by the government. And so we're actually going to get efficient in this place, and we're hiring business people that have built some of the most successful companies. And the only people getting their ruffles feathered are the people that aren't doing anything, sitting at home collecting a paycheck. It's crazy, David.
Yeah, it's to your point. I mean, that's like what stands out to me the most about Elon. The fact that people are getting upset at Elon, saying he's not qualified, we didn't vote for him, and it's all people that didn't vote for Trump saying that. Like, as somebody who did vote for Trump, that's exactly what I voted for. That was one of the things that I voted for, that I thought, who better to examine a business than Elon Musk? And what we're seeing is the difference between politicians and business people. Politicians just leverage U.S. money. They want to take time to do certain things because their goals are totally different than an actual business that needs to stay in the black, that needs to be profitable, that has other employees that are relying on the success of that business. We're seeing the difference. And it's almost like one of those things where you come in and you have an audit. The people that are getting upset, or let's say the gym teacher comes in. The gym teacher comes into class and says, hey, everybody who's out of shape, who can't pass these certain tests, we're highlighting you and we're going to put you out there on Front Street. The people that can pass the test are not tripping. It's the ones that can't pass the test that are sitting there nervous, trying to say this is wrong, we shouldn't have these testing. And the whole time the test is just to make sure that we'll become healthier. And that's what Elon's doing. He's trying to create a healthier business as America. And people are getting upset and allowing politicians to finesse them into thinking that, well, Elon Musk is going to steal your social security number. Elon Musk is probably the last person that needs to steal your social security check. He's good. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's just so like you're more upset about the person exposing how our money is being spent than the actual people that are spending it in all these crazy ways. It's wild to me.
They got to make up shit that doesn't make sense because there's no other thing to do, right?
Right.
Like that's the only thing. Well, you got to get on this soapbox. I call it the Department of Government outcomes. We need outcomes from the government. You know, like that's the problem. You have all these politics going on. There's no outcomes. It's like, oh, we debated this and we debated that and all that. And, oh, we won. Okay. Well, what's the fucking outcome? Like what is actually happening from this policy? And how is it impacting the bottom line everyday American? Outcomes matter. Politics don't. And so I'm excited. There's going to be some outcomes. I can tell you that.
Well, there already
Elon's
is,
involved.
you know? I feel like all the evidence, they're you know, these videos every day of, hey, this is more waste we found, right? Like I saw a video of, it was metal bushings, right? For screwing in, you know, appliances. It was for airplanes. And what usually would cost like $3 at Home Depot was $80,000 for a bag of bushings. And then there was another example of like styrofoam cups at the Pentagon. The contracted rate they were paying, it equated to $1,000 per styrofoam cup is what they were paying. I'm hearing real time tons of abuse, right? As a business guy, you're like, that makes no sense. Keep running it. Keep going. And they're attacking these little like 22-year-old hacker guys that are in there, you know, doing all this. You want a 22-year-old, and it's like, all right, well, you're cool with a 22-year-old going and picking up a gun and fighting for our country, one. Two, what you said, you think this kid can't get your social security number already? Like if he's basically hacking for the White House, right? Give me a break. Like you're going to steal your credit? Come on.
Yeah.
We have a bunch of lawyers that are really politicians. We need more business people in politics and less attorneys.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what do you make of all these cuts they're finding, David?
Yo, it's wild. I saw that one on the whatever it was. What is it called? Bushings? I don't even know what it was.
Yeah, it's like metal washers, I think, essentially.
I saw that one, and what's so funny is now you'll see like guys like Bill Gates and a lot of these other people saying, well, it's only 1% of the spending. And it's so funny because I don't know, y'all, I'm sure you guys have dealt with people that have successful businesses. 1% to a business person is totally different than 1% to a politician. 1% to a business person can be the difference in like make or break the outcome of the success of their business. 1% to a politician is just like, oh, it's nothing to even worry about. And to me, it's even bigger than with the actual money. If you want to fund condoms for whatever group overseas, it's actually, I just ask myself, like, why are intelligent people doing things that don't make sense? And to me, that's when there's something else there. There's, okay, I'm trying to funnel this money to, you know, it's really not going to condoms. It's just something that we'll write off. And then obviously that's getting collected, whether
just make something up for the expense sheet, guys. Right, yeah, and, you know, write a check to myself.
Right. And then, but what's so crazy about it is, and then even to the point where you said about the age thing is so weird to me because I think we forget how young a lot of leaders and revolutionaries were, even in the history of America. You look at like MLK wasn't that old. Fred Hampton was like 22, 23, leading a whole group. So all of these people, they're just making excuses and they're getting finessed by politicians that are just leading them in whatever direction. The politicians are probably sitting back like, yo, we can't believe these people are actually following it. But the people just get so emotionally attached to these agendas and become fanatics that they'll just go with whatever.
I think Andrew Hamilton was like 23, like one of the founding fathers. Like they were in their like early 20s when they basically wrote the Constitution. You know what I mean?
And then we got, I mean,
like Jefferson and all them. Yeah, they were. We
got an 81-year-old president, or did.
Yeah.
Like,
Pelosi's complaining about the hackers. Like, Pelosi, do you even know how to do an Excel spreadsheet? Well, maybe because maybe to track her stocks that she's insider trading, but outside of that,
her assistant's mother's assistant knows how to track her Excel sheet, you know?
Yeah,
I mean, exactly. So I saw this, get this. Here's the impact of Doge so far. They wrote in a post on Sunday, it's canceled 22 leases that were not being used at all in the past 6 days, saving this year alone $44.6 million. Imagine us as a business trying to, I have 7 offices and I use one of them. Okay. On January 29th, it said that it eliminated 85 contracts related to DEI at more than a dozen federal agencies worth roughly $1 billion to the American economy. It said Musk and Doge have also focused on the U.S. Agency for International Development as a target for potential savings. USAID was created in the early 60s to deliver aid around the world. The agency controls and operates out of 6 nations and employs 10,000 people. Its website went dark and its employees were barred entry into headquarters on Monday. Others had their work put on hold. They weren't doing anything. But, you know, the 2% of the workforce that was actually working in the office couldn't get in. It was mainly the janitors that were cleaning unnecessarily. Like,
it's wild, man. That's yeah.
The volume of inefficiency that is, and look, it's something this large. You know, there's an inefficiency going on. I got a small team, and there's a little bit of inefficiency. It's just sort of the nature of the beast. But some of this stuff is just, it's mind-numbingly stupid what we were spending money on, and the amount of people that have jobs that aren't really jobs, that are being paid to quit that job. And it's like, and here's what's going to happen. These people are going to say, oh, no, I'm not going to take that bailout or whatever to quit. Well, then you're going to be fucking fired in about 6 months. So I'd take the money.
Yeah. And it's perspective. It's the difference between looking at something from a business owner's perspective and somebody that only feels that they can be a worker. A business owner perspective is looking like, nah, we can't be paying these people if they're not doing the job. That money can be going towards something else, going towards building the business. Workers are like, well, I'm okay with staying at home, knowing that you're not going to be as efficient getting your work done. Like nobody at home, you know, I'm sure everybody listening, if you disagree, you could just say you're the special person that will get more work done without having anybody on top of you or without having that work environment. But let's just be real. Like that's why we have coaches from a young age in sports. Like if a coach says, hey, you guys do your conditioning on your own, do you think everybody's going to do the conditioning at the same level if the coach was there? So, and I feel like they're being gracious with that. They're telling people like, yo, if you want to come back, you can come back. If not, we'll even give you, what is it, like 8 months severance?
8 months.
So it's like the fact that people are still complaining about that just shows entitlement on a whole nother level. And it just shows exactly why Elon has to be exactly how Elon is. So, and I think it's a testament to his leadership as far as like a business owner, even being willing to hire young folk. Young folk, they have more understanding around social media and a lot of these things than us. And I feel like the best leaders, they're going to hire different people from different ages, right? Diversity, right? Diversity is what we're looking for. So diversity of age, because people are able to solve different solutions just based on their different experience growing up. So I see that as a plus. I see people just rooting against winners, man. It's just a lot of this is just people's insecurities coming to light.
Yeah, exactly. They're up to $2 billion a day is what they're cutting.
$2 billion a day?
$2 billion a day. And Elon said today, by this weekend, they're going to hit $4 billion in cuts a day. And that's the only way that they will get to $1 trillion this year. And he says they're on pace to do it. That's how much
even
inefficiency.
If you could find a way in your business, right, in any of our businesses, and let's just use a small number, $200 a day would make a huge impact in 90% of businesses in America, right?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what the math is, but what is that? 200 times 365?
A lot of money.
I don't know. 800,000 or 80,000. I don't know which one it is, but
Yeah,
regardless,
I'll take that.
Say it's $80,000, right?
Yeah.
That's a shitload. I mean, dude, that's 2 more employees for you.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a lot.
Exactly. And what do you guys make of what's happening with crypto? Let's go down that road for a minute. Like I got to admit, like I'm not a crypto expert. Chris is our crypto expert. And mind you, this segment of the podcast, this is not investment advice. We are not professional financial advisors. We
I am
just
not
have
an
opinions.
expert.
But I was like pumped and excited, and I'm not losing any money, and I've just got it riding. But it's like I can't make out what's happening, Chris. What's happening, Chris?
That's some $1 billion question, brother.
Yeah.
I mean, I've talked to a lot of people over the weekend, a lot of my buddies that are pretty heavy in it.
Yeah.
It's definitely not following the usual trend as close as it typically does.
Yep.
But, you know, the assumption is you have a lot more institutional money moving into cryptocurrency now, banks, countries, right?
Yeah.
I think our whole currency is going to change, whether that's our banks are just going to be on blockchain, which they probably already are. I think there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, and I know there is from a, you know, more corporate integration standpoint, credit card companies starting to integrate blockchain processing, stuff like that. So you also had a lot of liquidity sucked out of the market from big events like FTX, that whole crash that sucked a ton of money out of daily day traders' hands. So you got a lot of money that would usually be trading that's just not moving right now. And I think a lot of that money is supposed to get dispersed out from that settlement sometimes in the next few months. However, I'm still very confident in crypto. I mean, I think historically March is a really big month in the cycle. So, you know, like Ryan said, everybody's down a little bit right now, but if you zoom out of the picture, it's like the stock market, right? It's still looking good. And in my opinion, in the short term, it's looking like you're going to make some great gains. So I would not sell. I would buy more. And
I got three letters, XRP. I need it to go up, baby. That's all I need. You know,
that's
like
become
I bought
a
it at
shining
70
star.
cents. We're sitting at like 280. I need that. I need 10x. We need like $10, you know,
word is it's going to do pretty well. And I had a buddy yesterday, he even said, he goes, you know, I've never been an XRP fan, but he's like, I'm a believer now, you know?
Yes.
And I think there's a lot of, because of that, XRP has a lot of contracts with the government, and there's a lot of stuff with the banks going on. And allegedly what XRP is really doing is trying to replace the SWIFT system in the banking system when you send international wire transfers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So if that
David,
is the
are you
case,
in on this crypto shit?
I was in a little. I on Bitcoin.
Yeah.
On Bitcoin, I have no issue with it. You know, to me, I look at it as if, and I don't have the best understanding for it. You guys can probably explain it better to me. But
I'm a gambler, baby. I like to ride the winners. I don't have to understand it. I just follow the trends.
That's how I am, man. The more people are involved in it, the more people that are invested in it, it's going to drive the value up. And if they're not making more of them, it just seems like, you know, a very limited resource, and the price is just going to keep going up eventually. It seems like people are, I mean, definitely I feel like it's gained the respect of a lot of people and institutions that tried to just kind of act like it wasn't going to be a thing, an overnight type of thing. But I mean, when you look at it now, it definitely seems like it's going to be here for the long run.
Yeah. And I've been moving like what I was going to spend on crypto into sports cards. my four boys have gotten into the sports card bug, so we've been opening rad rips, wrapping packs, getting in some NFL football cards. That's at least fun, you know. And nothing like getting my son on Sunday. We're watching the Super Bowl, and you know it became a snore fest pretty quickly. Unfortunately, go Eagles! I was pulling for the Eagles, not because I love greatness. I like the Eagles, and I have a lot of respect for Hurts, one of my favorite players out of Alabama. I don't count whatever that stop at Oklahoma was. He's an Alabama player. Anyway, back to the sports cards. Clayton's my oldest, and he's the kind of the least engaged in it. And he's open. It's like a $25 box of cards, and then the packs are like 6 packs. And he's sitting there next to me. And then this one particular box, there's one type of card that's like super rare. They're kind of cheap cards, but they have these cards called kabooms. And they're worth like $500 to $5,000 a card. And my son's sitting next to me opening a pack. And I thought he was totally like some of my sons will go, "Oh man, look what I got." And he'll hold up and it's the shittiest guy ever, like shittiest card. And Clayton goes, he's looking through it and he's naming names. And he goes like, "Okay, Mahomes, oh, that's a pretty cool card." And like just base cards that, you know, worth a couple dollars, whatever. And he goes, "Kaboom." And then he goes to the next one. And I heard him say it and I'm like, he's trolling me. But it's like Clayton also doesn't know cards as well as my other younger sons. And I said, wait, what'd you just say, Clayton? He said, I got some card with Kaboom on it. I said, give me those cards. He had a $700 Kaboom in his pocket, in his hand, from a $25 box and a $4 pack. And right in the middle of the Super Bowl. And had, you know, and if I hadn't heard him say it, he would have thrown them on the table like every other card. It was awesome. The kids, my three other boys were like jumping up and down. They couldn't believe it, you know, but it was fun. It was just funny because I thought he was trolling me, but sports cards are more fun, you know, like, hey, you get to get them. I needed David Caldwell. You got a sports card out there, right?
I don't know. If so, I've never gotten one. I need to look into that. I need to look
was
into
that like 09? What was that? 20? What year was that?
Give me one for college. Give me one for my college. I'll enjoy that one better.
You needed that name, image, and likeness to come around when you were in college, right?
Yeah, I tell you what, it probably wouldn't have been. It wouldn't have been anywhere close to a lot of these big name schools, but there is something to say about being one of the larger fish in that smaller pond. You can still get appreciated. You feel me?
Yeah.
So we definitely would have had, you know, at least some meals covered, maybe a little piece of that rent.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, sports cards.
Probably a scooter.
You know what? I've learned.
Right.
Sports cards are popular, man. The number of people, like, I post on social all the time. I'll post my business. I get, you know, 100 of this, 100 of that. I've had no fewer than, I don't know how many people when I post about those sports cards that are coming out of the woodworks going, oh, man, that's a good guy. I'm like, damn, these things are more popular than I realized. Anyway, there's a lot of money in that shit. Can't believe it. Anyway.
Were you guys big on, like, I feel like I used to collect the sports cards, and then once it turned into, like, all the other cards, I couldn't keep up, like, the Pokemon, all that, you know what I mean? I was into the sports cards, but I just couldn't keep up with all the other stuff. 27
variations of every card now. That's what's hard to keep up with.
Oh, my God.
So, like, you'll have Patrick Mahomes in a pack, or like a set, like Prism is like a name of one of them. And that same picture of Patrick on the same brand of card will have like 27 variations of the color or a hologram. Nothing changes, but like the overlay of the colors on top. They have a green diamond, a black diamond, a red diamond. And like one of them is super rare. And all of the others are worth like 5 or 10% more than the base card. It's hard to keep. You got to like scan the card to know what's. You could be sitting there holding a $700 card or holding a 7-cent card, and they look this much different.
But that's what makes it fun, though. That's what makes it fun.
It is fun.
Yeah.
The boys love it, and there is a lot of money in it. But you know, ripping packs is fun. It is kind of like gaming. You're sitting there going, up. But
you never know what you're gonna get, man.
Yeah, exactly. And ironically, it was a worthy. The wide receiver, the Kaboom card was worthy from Kansas City's team, the wide receiver. So that was pretty cool. And he was like on the screen, right when all that transpired. I was like, this is fun. Anyway, get into those sports cards. It's more fun than crypto, but crypto's probably got the longer upside. I see that XRP to ride, baby, Chris. Tell your XR people to pump that stuff, man.
I'll let them know. Shoot them a text when we get off.
I know.
Turn it on, boys.
David, I know you talk news every week. I mean, what else is catching your eye this week? I mean, what else you got coming?
I'm a lot on the. It's funny, you know what? So a lot with politics, and it almost goes back to a point which you guys said earlier, like, and relating it to sports, like outcomes, you know. And I feel like that's what I'm pretty much paying attention to. I mean, sports is cool, but my new sport is politics. That's what I like to learn about. Just seeing how people leverage power, like it's just actually exciting for me. But you're right, you know, just being able to look at the outcome of things and the results rather than the intent. So whether it's DEI, whether it's anything else, I just kind of look at it like, what are the results of it rather than how people are trying to sell it to me on? How is it actually impacting certain things? So from a news perspective, definitely Trump is big. Super excited about what RFK Jr. hopefully will do with a lot of the, you know, being willing and having the courage to go against the FDA, big pharma. Like, that's what I'm here for. I'm here for all that, just creating a better culture for us to be healthy in rather than to be reactive with all the pharmaceutical medicines and whatnot. So I'm excited about, you know, him bringing together all different types of people. RFK Jr., that's one of the guys that I was really rocking with before he dropped out. So
Yeah,
I'm optimistic. So I know a lot of people are miserable and upset, but I really feel like that's just because they're getting bamboozled in some ways and not realizing the actual opportunities that are in front of us.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got one last article I want us to hit on.
Yeah.
This is a little sideways, but the money is crazy. It says this kind of goes down our other shows route, Chris. This has hit my thing. Cordyceps fungi. They're selling in Beijing for $136,000 a pound and have made their way into Whole Foods. It's talking about a show called The Last of Us that's on HBO. I had no idea it was that big a market, and it went for that. Did you know that? It's cordyceps?
I had no idea. I mean, I've got some here. I didn't know I was sitting on a freaking gold mine, but
yeah.
Go. I got those bricks of the cordyceps in the trunk. Come pick them up.
Playing cards.
Bring the cash.
Yeah, but it says throughout the
on that playing
Himalayas.
card game.
Yeah, it says which grows on the corpses of ghost moth larvae is worth
Really?
4 times its weight in gold. Traditional medicine says it cures almost anything. And they're also now calling it the Himalayan Viagra.
So it's natural Viagra.
Yeah,
I'm all for the natural. You got to get the natural.
I think it's good for
there.
blood flow, from what I recall.
Yeah. You still take that mushroom complex, Chris?
No, I haven't been taking it lately because I was getting like too amped up on it. Like it was giving me too much energy. Yeah, it was a mushroom blend.
Yeah.
Like 12 different mushrooms. I think I take other stuff that I think has mushrooms in it already. Like even now, like you can find energy drinks or pre-workouts that'll have cordyceps in it and lion's mane typically. But
I feel like they compound this stuff and it gets so powder. Like by the time you actually take the pill, it's like how much is really going through your bloodstream. I don't know. That's just the skeptic in me.
I think
what do you have at the house, Chris? You got the powder? What do you use? The powder?
No, I've got some capsules. Like I tried
he's storing rails of cordyceps.
Yeah, it's better than cocaine.
Get it to the brain ASAP.
It's natural, bro.
Get that contact.
Oh God,
that Himalayan Viagra keeps me pumping all day, baby.
Yeah, no wonder it was you. He's misusing it.
Yeah, bro.
Suppositories.
You don't need a pre-workout. You just need some cordyceps. No, I tried Alpha Brain. That's got cordyceps in it. There's a ton of stuff, but I don't know. I tried to simplify a little bit on that because it was just too much blend. I think if I could find a cordyceps only supplement, which I probably can, try it out, but it sounds pretty expensive.
I just couldn't believe $136,000 a pound. I've seen cordyceps in a lot of different supplements I take now. I mean, I was wondering why I was feeling so amped, but now I know why. No, I'm kidding. It's more that I see it in a lot of things. I just had no idea that cost that much.
I mean, I think a lot of it's grown hydroponically now, like in the U.S. So maybe it's probably like Wagyu beef versus normal beef, right? Like they got like the Wagyu of cordyceps mushrooms.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Finally, the betting world has increased now that ESPN bet and all that other stuff is out there. I read that there was like over $1 billion like bet on the Super Bowl. And there's an article we'll give them. Bloomberg.com is highlighting 2 guys that spend $10,000 a weekend gambling. They're professional gamblers just on sports. And it's like everything from ping pong to like, I'm like, the article should be called Degenerate. I think that's what that's called. But supposedly they're doing all right. But I'm like, I got to see the receipts on these gamblers that say they're making money. But the industry as a whole has gotten, I mean, it's bonkers how much money is wagering on these games. Like anybody I don't know. I used to do it like 10 or 15 years ago.
I can't do the sports betting, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard for me to bet on anything if I'm not participating in it. Like you get me going. If I'm playing in it or something, then I'll bet. But other than that, I wonder if so this is what I was even thinking about the sports betting, because I always think like the house is going to win, right? The house is going to win.
Of course they are. They're the ones that are the business.
Right. But is this the difference between casinos with the sports betting now? Because you can have let's say, sponsors in a different way than going into the casino, those companies can actually make a lot of their money just on having sponsors and whatnot. Or I don't even know if they're allowed to sponsor. I don't even know what the rules are. So it almost gives them the opportunity to, I guess, feed the people that are betting within their platform a lot more, or give them a bigger piece of the pie, whatever it is, because they're getting so much sponsorship money. So I don't know. I'd rather do that than go to the casino and play what's the slots or something like that. But I don't know. I don't know. To each their own. If they want to throw 10,000 into it, and if they could show me a history of some wins, I'll put some money in it.
Yeah. Chris, we've talked about this. We know you don't bet. I don't anymore. But
I've only done it
$1
I've done it recreationally, just when like everyone in the room is doing it. I'm like, all right, sure. Let me try to get involved in it. I've never made money on it.
Yeah. The only thing you're betting on is those brunettes at the bar that you don't drink at, but they do. Right. Yeah. Single in Miami. David, are you single?
No.
All right. So just
no, man. I've had a relationship probably for the last, it's almost 20, it's like 20 years now, but on and off, like I'm super transparent about it. It's the toughest thing in the world. It's the toughest thing in the world, because it's like, no matter what you do, you still rely on somebody else to do something on their end. I guess it's like any other partnership, but a little less, I guess you got a little more. And that just goes to show you, when you have emotions involved in certain decisions, things can, I don't know, you can muddy the waters a little bit.
We're going to get you on Vibe Science to talk your commitment issues. Huh? We have to get you on Vibe Science to talk your commitment
See, that's what I'm saying. See, like, if this wasn't a relationship, if I didn't have so many emotions in it and I was just taking my own advice, I told you I would have cut her off a while. No, I'm just joking, but she probably would have cut me off too. But I don't know. Relationships are just tough, man. To each their own. That's the one thing that I've been learning, man. To each their own. We're in Miami, so I try to bring her here every so often, just so she can see the landscape of the competition out here for her, just to make sure she's on her toes, and we keep it moving from there.
Yeah, there we go. All right, gentlemen. Topical news of the week. Appreciate y'all coming on. Any final words?
Caldwellv?
Win. I got final words, man. I'm tired of people getting pissed off at winners. It reminds me of the Cat Williams interview with Shannon Sharp, when Shannon Sharp was bringing up something and Cat says, you have, like, I think he said this, I don't know word for word, you have a strong affiliation with losers. And I don't understand why. So, let's start rooting for the winners. Get that hate out your heart. Let's look at the results of things rather than how they're being sold to us. And like I said, man, when everybody's winning, when more people are winning, then it's a lot easier to get over those insecurities. So that's my final message, man. Let's align ourselves with winners and what it takes to win.
Amen.
Wise words from a wise man. I think we're going to leave it there, Chris.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys. Chris Hansen down in Miami. David Caldwellv. David, where can everybody keep up with you on the socials?
Oh, yeah. So Instagram, OHGI_IAM. And then on YouTube, the OG Network. That's OHGI again, Network. On Instagram as well. But you'll see me hopefully in a lot of what you guys got going on. So they'll be able to tap in there. So
love it. David, man, appreciate you, brother.
Absolutely. Appreciate y'all as well.
Hey, guys, you know to find us, RyanIsRight.com. You'll find highlight clips, links to David's social, Chris's social, my social, all the social you can get. That's what we're doing here. We're spreading the good word. We're telling you about what's now, how to get ahead, how to think, and how to ultimately win, baby, win. We'll see you next time on Right About Now.
This has been Right About Now with Ryan Alford, a Radcast Network production. Visit RyanIsRight.com for full audio and video versions of the show, or to inquire about sponsorship opportunities. Thanks for listening. This is Right About Now with Ryan Alford, a Radcast Network production. We are the #1 business show on the planet with over 1 million downloads a month. Taking the BS out of business for over 6 years and over 400 episodes. You ready to start snapping necks and cashing checks? Well, it starts right about now.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Right About Now. I'm Ryan Alford, your host. We're always talking about, hey, we always right. You know that. But we're always talking about what's now, not about the future, not about the past, but about today. This is about getting you ahead in business and in life and ultimately making it all happen. And hey, I got the king of making it happen. I got two of the kings. Chris, what's happening, brother, down in Miami?
What's good, bro? How are you today?
I'm good, man. Hey, I'm pumped. Got my brother from another. He is David Caldwellv. What's up, David?
Man, life is good, bro. Appreciate y'all having me on.
Yeah, man. Ex-NFL, business mentor, consultant, professional badass, and just all-around good guy.
I appreciate that.
He'll run you over and then pick you up and tell you something good.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, man. Y'all both in the Miami. It's like the land of opportunity, right?